Can we start, Aarti?
Live stream is done. We can start. You start, Bala.
Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. This Bhagavata, this shloka, I think it comes in Mahatmya, or I think so. Just chant that, which means that Srimad Bhagavata is Pratyaksha Krishna himself. And that darshan happens when we read, contemplate, meditate on Srimad Bhagavatam with the resolve that all that we seek is with the resolve that all we seek is Satyam, is truth, realizing the truth. Srimad Bhagavadakyoyam Pratyaksha Krishna eva hi Svikritosi maya natha Muktyartham bhavasagare. The resolve is we are sincerely seeking mukti from the bhavasagara. So bhavasagara is that disease of becoming, disease of doing something, disease of becoming something. That is the bhava. So we are seeking to release ourselves from that ocean of that becoming. That's what the shloka says. Yeah. So I'll just share the
Bhavasagara is in our mind, and to be able to be detached from it, sometimes we need to seek its cooperation only. That's the Prakriti. When say a child is behaving badly, when it is very wild, it has to be controlled. But at the base, it is not to reject it or put it down in a way, but to bring it in line. That is what we are trying to do. Guide it to what we want it to do, rather than be under its control. Right? To guide it to what we want. So we seek its cooperation. After a while, when the mind has become subdued, is initially like a wild animal, you have to pull it constantly. But again, it is because there is love within. With that, knowing the difference between the mind and this, between the Bhavasagara and us. But slowly, as it comes reasonably in control, now you start seeking the cooperation of to be out of it.
That becomes the Shakti of the Lord.
Yes.
The moment it is divinized, that is one way, right? The moment the mind is divinized, it becomes the Shakti of the Lord. Or the moment when we say, like Bhagavan says, Manamena ondrillai undipara. Manadin uruvai maravadusavar. He says, without forgetting, constantly keep inquiring, what is this mind? Turn the attention from the content, from the thoughts, feelings, emotions, whatever. Those are all from the mind, right? So that turn the attention from that and see what it is. The more we try to face it, we will realize that they are not there, but that observer, the silent observer, is there. So the moment that realization that mind is not there means not to say that Shakti, it doesn't stand apart from.
It has no standing of its own. It is not other than the divine.
Yes.
It is something that is.
Correct. That's it. There is no separate thing called the mind. It is some Shakti.
So again, sometimes when we say divinize the mind, there can be a tendency to wrongly associate and think that these thoughts are divine, so let me go with it. Just to bring that clarity, that to know, it is to shift from the thoughts to the substratum that is holding the thoughts. The substratum on which these thoughts are arising from. That is important. So the moment we say, again, this can become a little sometimes misleading to say we can misinterpret it to think that the thoughts, the mind, when we say the mind is divine, is also divinity, we think it is the thoughts which are divinity and may start giving the thoughts the reality again. It can happen, but it is not that. It is to shift the focus from the thoughts to the divinity on which these thoughts exist. Without the substratum, there is no existence of these thoughts. Shifted from the thoughts to the substratum on which this is, substratum which is holding this. And then knowing that it has all come from them, like the yoni of the divine, Brahman. The thoughts are coming out from that yoni of the divine. So focus on the yoni rather than on the thoughts itself.
Bijam Mam, he says, no, I am the seed giving father. So 2 steps, like how, just to continue on that, what Aarti was saying. So it's 2-step thing we can say maybe. So the first, to know that mind is just thoughts, right? And look at from where it comes. So this is a practice. This is not a siddhanta. It's not a theory to understand. We need to sit and observe. So the mind, so the first base there where we hit is me. This me as this ego, the individual self. That is why Bhagavan says this is Atma Vichara. So Bhagavan, the next thing he says is, after we manadin, that is the declaration he says. Manadin uruvai maravadu sava manamena undrillai undipara. Okay, he says, see, first know that should be taken, absorbed. The Rishi is saying it is not there. Okay, now what? How to realize? Then he says, Ennangale manam yavilum nanenum enname moolamam undipara, which means the entire mind is made of thoughts, but the root of all the thoughts that spring up is nan, I. Okay, so nanenum enname undipara, the I thought. Not it is the I thought. That is the first thing. See, the thoughts come up. So when we analyze, when we observe the mind, we clearly know the thoughts and emotions come up only when this I thought, this personality is connected to it. Something is happening somewhere else, not much of thoughts. The impact is not there here. The thoughts come like that, that be, whatever they say, it's only when this I, this ego is there. So he says, Ennangale manam yavilum nanenum enname moolam. That is the nan, the I, as the ego is the root. Then the next, so step by step he goes. Very nice it is. If we can look at, so, yavilum nanenum enname moolamam undipara, nana manam enal undipara. So he says, just like how the cloth is made of only cotton. So all that Swami very beautifully puts it as narrowing down the topic. So the entire mind is now focused on just this I, this ego. If this is not there, if this root is not there, all these thoughts do not have any, what do you say, appearances, we can say. They don't appear. They don't appear at all when this root is not. But this root, so nana manam enal undipara. He says the entire thing, it is pervaded by this ahankara, ego. The next one he says, ennangale nana manam enal நானென்றெழுமிடம் ஏதென நாடவுன் நான் தலை சாய்ந்திடும் உந்திப்பர ஞான விசாரமிது உந்திப்பர. So now we know this ego is there. Now what is this? What is this which is saying I? It has to be with complete focus and lot of reverence and surrender to the method given by a Maharishi and deeply inquire, what is this? Then what happens is the mind quietens. Thoughts disappear. The ego, whatever that has arisen, has also subsided. So, nanendru ezhumidam, nan enga ezhumidam. So, from where this arises, now we are moving the attention. First, the attention was in the outer content. Now then the attention moves to the individual ego. And then we closely observe what is that individual ego, only to know that it is not there and there, but there is something. We cannot say there is nothing. There is something. Yeah. So that he says, நானென்றெழுமிடம் ஏதென நாட உன் நான் தலை சாய்ந்திடும், which means first thing is we'll realize that, oh, this ego is not there, the mind has subsided. There is some silence, something there. That says, the next one, ஞான விசாரம் இது உந்திப்பர நானொன்று தானத்து நான் என்றொன்றது தானாக தோன்றுமே உந்திப்பர தானது பூன்றமாம் உந்திப்பர. He says, there is something there, pure existence, pure awareness, pure witness, whatever name we can relate to. So that is there. That is Purna. That is something which is whole and complete. This is surrender. This is where the mind subsides into the truth. It has arisen, like in that Narayana Shuktam, there is a chant which says, it Shushiram, from the hole in the Hridaya. In the Hridaya, Narayana is there in an inverted lotus, is the visual given. And from there, through a small hole, the I, individual, arises. And from there, everything is like there. So now that same process, everything is there. We have narrowed it down to the individual, and the individual is now subsiding in that all-pervasive Narayana. So, but it is still in the so na tanadu pundrama undipara. So this is how the dynamic surrender, moment to moment, moment to moment. This is not like one time we do it. It is moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. Of initially practice, and then slowly it becomes spontaneous for a Jivan Mukta. Yeah.
So to extend on what Bala just said, it is a movement of awareness to awareness to the Supreme Being, Supreme Consciousness. So to put it clear in this thing, awareness of, initially when I say, this is given in the as kshetra kshetrajna. When we say awareness of, when we say I am aware of an object. I am not, I'm detached from that object, but I know that there is a phone. Similarly, I am aware of the thoughts. I am aware of the feeling. I am aware of the desire. So there is a separation between the desire and the awareness, but the awareness is of the objects in the field. The one who is aware is the kshetrajna, the one who knows the field, and the kshetra is where the field, you have the magnetic field, you have rubber in it, you have plastic in it, you have everything. And there is a sense that, okay, now I'm aware of these objects that is there. So that is the first level. So you are aware of the objects. I am sad. There is an awareness that there is sadness in the mind. This is aware of. From there you move to awareness. Just now there is no object, I am. I am sad to just I am, where the sad is now dropped. There's no, that is where, like Ramana Maharshi says, always turn around and see who am I. Bala was also saying the same thing, So who am I? You turn and you see, okay, who is this who is aware of this object? Turn to that, and then there is just awareness, the object is dropped. Then when you become aware of the awareness itself, then there is no sad there at all. It is only I am. I am. And then when you go to inquire that I in that whole thing, in the Hridaya Kuhara Madhya, in your heart, you go inquiring into the I, this aham, who is this I? And even the I dissolves like salt dissolves in water, and all that remains is amness. Am. There's no I, there is just am. An existence. Just an existence, just a knowing, just. So it is a movement from awareness of to just awareness to supreme, knowing that there is no I at all, there is no separate awareness at all. All awareness is only that supreme consciousness. Movement from I am sad, awareness of the sadness, to I am, to dropping. So where the sadness is dropped, then the I is also dropped, and only amness is there.
The beautiful word in Sanskrit for am is astitva.
Asti.
Astitva. How beautiful it is. It needs no explanation. The first time, in Tamil, when I heard that, it was irip. I don't know how many of you understand Tamil. It just reflects that. Existence and all doesn't reflect that. It just resounds in that. Oh, astitva. It's a very beautiful. Yes. So that is moving from the Bhavasagara.
And like Bala said, it is moment to moment. I become aware of the object, I move to the awareness, and then I know that I-ness also dissolves. Moment to moment to moment. Sorry.
Yeah. So that is the from the Bhavasagara. So I am sad, I am feeling whatever, disturbed, I'm feeling excited. All these are Bhava Sagara. The Sagara becomes to be known as just water, which is just that I am, and then pure existence as that Tattva Astitva in the ocean also, no? Whatever. So that is pure Astika. Okay, so we were here. I think we had completed this. I don't remember.
We missed 1 week. No, we didn't complete.
Parshurama, maybe you can start.
We finished
We
Parshurama.
did this. We saw this. The grandson becomes the Kshatriya.
Yes.
Okay.
Bhargava married Renuka, 5 sons. So Parshurama was the personification of gunas, rajas and tamas. That's why that Kshatriya quality is there, though he is born to a Brahmana, Jamadagni. But since he was by birth, he was bent upon punishing the Kshatriyas who did not respect. So here also, I think we talked about it maybe last
Yeah,
week.
yeah, we did.
So here is what comes the Swabhava, the Swabhava of the Upadi, the instrument in which we are embodied. Yeah, that by nature. See, he was a Kshatriya by nature. So whatever it is, that Kshatriya nature will come. That is how. So it will, that the body will react, or the body is made to deliver, to function as a Kshatriya nature. In Bhagavatam, when Bhagavatam talks about this creation and all that, it is there in Purusha Suktam also, right? Where it is said that from the head of the Purusha, the cosmic being, we say, no? Brahmanas are born. From the shoulders and hands, Kshatriyas are born. From the stomach, Vaishyas, and from the feet, Shudras. So this means that it brings out the Swabhava of every Upadi. Okay, so a Brahmana, whatever cannot bring. So it has got nothing to do with birth. Okay, though that's a different thing altogether. But it is not. We cannot connect too much with birth. It is the Swabhava, especially now in this modern world. Definitely no. So in the Swabhava, the body sometimes is unable to forgive something, wants to punish. Know that the grudges is there. Or when it all depends on the Swabhava of the Panchabhutas, the whatever the mix of the Panchabhutas that has happened. That's all. Yes. The Kartavirya, the Heheya. Want to read?
Okay. Kartavirya, the Heheya. The king of the country, by name Heheya, was Kartavirya Arjuna. He had propitiated Dattatreya and Amsha of Narayana. He had 1,000 arms and he was invincible. He was powerful and he was famed the world over for his strength and glory. We didn't read this, no?
Dattatreya, when you read it, propitiated, we had seen, no, the meaning. Anyway, not able to recollect it.
Kartavirya Arjuna's killing, I think we had seen, right?
No? Yeah, maybe. Quickly, maybe we can read it. We finish this. Mahishmati, here Kartavirya was nearing the city of Mahishmati. Single-handed Rama destroyed the entire army.
Can anybody else also? Yeah, I think we have gone through this.
Mm.
We have done this.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And this is when we spoke about, we have done this, about that whole tapas, because from Maharashtra to Kerala to Kanyakumari there. Yeah.
Rama did not hesitate. He has killed, so he asked the boon of his all of them to come back to life.
Hmm.
Till that maybe. Kartavirya's sons in the meantime.
For the killing of their father. Anybody else wants to tell us, Jaimala ji? Or we will read if you are so confused, nothing wrong. We will go over it one more time.
Yeah, we finished till the Rama kills the mother, on the behest of the father. All that we finished, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So,
will just read through Bala, otherwise just to keep
Mm.
continuity, because there is so much uncertainty. Without discussing, we'll just read through maybe
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
The king of the country by name Heheya was Kartavirya Arjuna. He had propitiated Dattatreya and Amsha of Narayana. He had 1,000 arms and he was invincible, he was powerful, and he was famed the world over for his strength and glory. He became arrogant because of his extreme power.
Page number, Aarti, sorry.
116 chapter.
Okay.
Shivaji.
Okay, thank you.
He became arrogant because of his extreme power over others. Once he was bathing in the river Narmada with his women. He held back the river with his 1,000 arms and it was arrested in its flow. Ravana, who had camped on the other side of the river, found his tent wetted by the river and he found the cause of it. He could not brook the action of the lord of the Heheyas. He went to him and tried to insult him, but Kartavirya made him the laughing stock of the women by capturing him. He kept Ravana as a prisoner in the city of Mahishmati and released him after insulting him. Once Kartavirya was hunting in the forest, and during his wandering he came by chance to the ashram of Jamadagni. The rishi entertained the king and his entire host with the help of Kamadhenu, the divine cow. Kartavirya was greatly impressed by the powers of Kamadhenu, so much so he became jealous of Jamadagni. When he left the ashrama with his attendants, he instructed his men to steal the cow and bring it to his city. His orders were obeyed, and the cow, crying piteously, was carried by force to Mahishmati, the capital of Heheya. Rama, who had gone out, came back to the ashrama of his father and heard about the stealing of Kamadhenu. He was hissing like a serpent which had been beaten by a stick. He took up his terrible axe, his bow and quiver full of arrows, and hurried to the city of the miscreant. Kartavirya was nearing the city of Mahishmati when he saw Rama pursuing him. He had not seen Rama before. Rama was a glowing figure dressed in a deer skin like a Brahmin, but there the resemblance ended. This Brahmin had a bow and arrows. On his shoulder was placed an immense axe. He was glowing like the sun at the time of the deluge. Kartavirya realized that this man had come to fight with him, and he dispatched an army consisting of 17 Akshauhinis. Single-handed, Rama destroyed the entire army. Seeing his army destroyed like that, Arjuna entered the field of battle. He had 500 bows in his 500 hands, and the other 500 hands were busy sending arrows at Rama, but Rama broke all the bows. And when Arjuna tried to fight by hurling stones and trees at Rama, his arms were cut away by Rama. A moment later, Rama cut off the head of Kartavirya. So we let here Arjuna is Kartavirya Arjuna and Rama is Parashurama. So a moment later, Rama cut off the head of Kartavirya. Arjuna's 10,000 sons were stunned by the death of their father and ran away from the spot in terror. Rama then took Kamadhenu and her calf with him and went back to the ashrama. Jamadagni listened to the narration of the fight and about the death of Kartavirya. He was silent for a moment and then said, Rama, my son, killing a king is a sin and you have incurred it. Your anger is your weakness. You should learn to be patient. We Brahmins were respected by others because of this quality in us. The glow of a Brahmin is because of his patience, and it is this quality which makes us dear to the Lord. Kartavirya was an anointed king and he had been killed by you. The sin is greater than the killing of a Brahmin. You can be cleansed of this sin only by visiting the sacred rivers. Spend a year in all the tirthas and then come back to me. So be it, said a strangely chastened Rama, and he went on a pilgrimage to the holy waters. 1 year passed, and Rama came back from his pilgrimage. He was welcomed with great affection by his father and mother. Once Renuka, the wife of Jamadagni, went to the banks of the river to bring water as was her daily custom. There she saw the Gandharva by name Chitrasena, and he was playing in the water with his Apsara consorts. She was looking on and told herself, what a handsome man he is. And she stayed on the river banks longer than usual. When she went back to the ashrama, it was past the time for Homa. She entered with great hesitation, afraid that her husband would be angry with her for her delay. She placed the pot of water at his feet and stood with folded palms. The rishi saw with his mind's eye the cause of her delay. He was incensed at her sin, though it was committed mentally for a few moments. The thought that a man other than her lord was handsome was a sin. He called out to his sons and said, this woman has sinned. Kill her at once. The sons were hesitant. They could not make up their minds to kill their mother at their father's angry command. Jamadagni then called his youngest son Rama and said, Rama, kill your mother and your brothers. It is my command. Rama did not hesitate even for a moment. He killed them all. And his father was pleased with him. He said, my son, I am so pleased with the promptness with which you obeyed me. Ask any boon of me, I will grant it to you. Rama fell at his feet and said, Father, all I want is that they should all come back to life. Moreover, when they wake up, they should not remember what has happened. His father's anger against his wife and children had evaporated, and he was only too happy to grant the boon to his son. They got up as though after a deep sleep, and they did not know what had happened. Kartavirya's sons in the meantime were nursing their anger against Rama for the killing of their father. Once when Rama had gone to the forest with his brothers, the sons of Kartavirya came to the ashrama of Jamadagni. Finding the old couple alone, they thought that the time was opportune. The rishi was seated in front of the fire and Renuka was attending on him. The sons of the king of Mahishmati rushed towards the rishi with their swords raised. She knew what they were planning to do. She implored them not to kill her husband, but they would not listen. They cut off the head of the rishi who was meditating on the Lord. The moment they had achieved their object, they ran away from the spot. Renuka shouted out, Rama, I think these we did not read, this stanza, paragraph. Renuka shouted out, Rama, Rama, and hearing her voice at a distance, Rama heard the pain and agony in her voice, and he rushed to the ashrama to see what had happened. He had one look at his dead father. Leaving everything in the hands of his brothers, Rama lifted his terrible axe, slung it on his shoulder, and ran out of the ashrama. In that one moment, Rama decided to destroy the entire Kshatriya clan. He went with the speed of lightning to the city by name Mahishmati. It was child's play for him to kill the sons of Kartavirya. They could do nothing in the presence of his avenging fury. He cut off their heads and made a small mountain of the heads heaped together. The city was devastated and the river of blood ran in the literal sense. Rama's anger had not abated. He traveled the world over and his one aim was to destroy the lusty Kshatriyas whose blood was to be shed. All the Kshatriyas had to be killed. He went around the world 21 times, and with the blood of the dead kings, he filled up 5 lakes which went by the name Samantaka Panchaka. He performed the funeral rites to his father on the spot Samantaka Panchaka. Only Rama used blood instead of water for the funeral oblations to his father. He then performed yajnas to purify himself of the sins of killing so many kings. It is said that this Rama is an avatar of the Lord, meant to rid the world of the burden of sinful men like the Heyas. It is also said that Rama will be one of the 7 rishis in the next Manvantara.
This place, no, which comes. I don't know about if it is Samanta Panchaka. In Bhagavad Gita, Vyasaushadam, in that Swami narration, he writes that Kurukshetra, Krishna tells to Arjuna that it is indeed the same place where Parashurama had, the blood of so many Kshatriyas. What do you say? The blood flood, whatever, of so many Kshatriyas were flowing during that Parashurama time. So the place also has some thing. So it is indeed the same place where you have come. And now this Mahabharata war was also like that, right? It wiped out so many. So I just remembered that but I don't know about the Samanta Panchaka. It comes in the first chapter, some shloka, I think, or maybe second. 1 second.
It all seems to be around whether it is Mahishmati or Samanta Panchaka. Probably in those days it was somewhere around Narmada, north of Narmada and Kurukshetra, somewhere there only, and south of Himalayas, somewhere near Haryana, around those places. So he is Parashurama is a combination of Rajas and Tamas. That is his nature. So there's a lot of anger. So even in human evolution, we have jiva, the evolution of the jiva goes through so many different yonis, as fishes, as reptiles, as all the 8 crore 44 lakhs jiva jantu, that it continues that way, and then finally takes the Manushya Janma. And if you see, he is the first man, human. Until then it was Narasimha, Vamana. Vamana also comes as a divine avatar, little boy, as a very divine avatar in a way. So Parashurama, that Rajas and Sattva. So our movement from Danava to Manava to Madhava here. So the Rajas, so initially there are so many to kill. Even internally, so many desires to and so many negativities to let go of. So this is that tamas, in tamas, when the rajas is there, there is more desire, there is more I, that feeling of I. But in tamas, there is a clouding and there is a veiling of the truth. So for divinity to manifest, to move towards manifestation of divinity, all this cloudedness and all this, and it is from that tamas that this kind of, stealing the cow, this kind of thoughts, these kind of actions is part of that, stealing a cow and and all the people coming back. He somewhere his rajas or his sattva, his the beauty was in his faith, the way undeterredly he cut the head of his mother and his brothers, but the next moment he asked them. So somewhere there was a divine there was that absolute, probably Shraddha, whatever, but through that also completely destroying all the lower tendencies within us, the very lower tendencies within us. His manifestation is in the beginning of, for us, when we are, just removing all those very lower, overcoming, instead of saying removing, overcoming all those very low limit, the limitations at the very lower level, which pull us down, the more tamasic limitations within. All of these divinity, if you look at it, when you pray to, say, Rama or Parashurama, they are all shining through us, through their own, through the qualities that we read here. They are not anywhere outside, in the past, in the future, or they are there in the here and now, in this whole consciousness. It is all happening. There's no past, there is no future, there is only the reality is in the present. So in the present, all of these are superimposed, and hence Kartavi, this Parashurama exists within us as this Rajotamas, Tamoguna, trying to overcome all the negative qualities.
That's why we say all these Puranas, it's like mirror only. It just shows our, because when we read it, we have read it today, something comes, Tomorrow we read it, something, and what is there in us is only seen there. And that is what is real to us. It doesn't matter whether such a thing happened, such a person was born in what century, whether AD or BC or before this or before that, how was the civilization, in what impact is that going to have for me within spiritually? Absolutely nothing. Right. So only for the spiritual being to be nourished, when we are able to relate it to that, it is showing the inner fabric of our mind when we read it.
And the difference between him and Kartavirya Arjuna, even though there is a Rajo Tamoguna, what would be the difference? He finally goes on to say, no, do tapas. That repentance, that realization, that knowing, being aware, which is true of whether it is Parashurama or Rama, Lord Rama, see, all of them, it is that realization that there is a wrong in this. That is, there is a killing that is happening. Yet it has to be done for the good. But since that wrong has been done, I should go through tapasya as well, because in that destruction of or the overcoming of all these the tamoguna, so much anger may have been needed, because rajoguna is needed to come out of tamoguna. The tamas can be overcome not by sattva. The tamas can be overcome only by rajoguna. A strong I-ness, a strong a kind of aggression, energy, all these become necessary to overcome that tamoguna, and hence then he goes into tapasya. He knows that the end is not this rajoguna. This is not where it stops. This was needed, but we have to evolve further.
That's what divine Durga shows us, no? Mahishasura is the embodiment of tamas, buffalo. And she takes on all the rajas and kills by weapons only. That kind of energy, that kind of thing is needed for the. One other thing, the difference is, though they were Kshatriyas, Parashurama stood by his dharma. No faltering. But Kartavirya Arjuna's sons, they kill a Brahmana. That's not a Kshatriya dharma. So, adharma. So that completely tamas, their sons. The Kshatriya dharma is to protect dharma. When they fall, it is a huge impact.
That is the difference between. No, so that is what even Duryodhana says, right, in the Mahabharata. I know what I am doing is adharma, but I choose to do it.
Mm.
And I am not sorry about it.
It's a clouded tamas, complete tamas.
Yeah, very strong tamas, that is. Where I'm in total denial of my own wrongdoing and in total justification and defense. So there where the I, me, myself is very strong, very big.
And it is so stagnant. He's not
Yeah.
ready to move. Right?
Mhm.
Duryodhana. He
Mm.
says, I know somewhere that Rajas is coming in to protect his own buddhi, maybe, I don't know. But he says, I'm not ready to move. That stagnancy.
So how can we individually try to, sometimes the tamoguna comes up. Okay, the tamoguna is where we are very strongly feeling like a victim. Whenever there is a strong victimhood within us, why is this happening to me? Or I need somebody to get me out. I am in inertia. I don't know my way out. So when the tamoguna is there, rajoguna is needed to come out of it. So putting in a kind of schedule, walking, chanting, bringing in discipline and order, working towards discipline, that is the fight, that is the willpower there. When I get up in the morning, how do I make it happen today? That willpower to building that willpower, bringing that up to bring a certain order in my day to day. I get up and I either go for a walk. I have to do this one, next. I keep doing something and I must overcome this. There will be a strong sense of I required at that point in time. That is Rajas. That is the Rajas, the strong sense of I. But the I is moving from victimhood to wanting to move out of this victimhood, overcome the tamoguna. So for that Rajos of activity is very much essential. Tamoguna can take away, that sense of, it is very dull. It is very dulling. And hence, to move from there, that you take up some hobby, you do something, so that you start feeling good about yourself. Do things that will make you overcome the tamoguna by building the rajoguna, which is, I like to indulge in some hobbies. I like to indulge in something that I like to do. And then there is a movement later. But first step, this is from here directly to sattva is not possible for tamo. That I-ness is required.
That's why in many therapy, we say, right? Gardening, especially when there is so much of anxiety, depression, very low, mental moods consistently. Gardening is a beautiful way, spending time in nature, using the body. If the body is agile and all that, depends on using the body for all that. Mountain, trekking, walk. With nature, it brings in that beauty actually.
In tamoguna, the veil is so thick that the beauty, the light within hardly glows out. I am not able to be in touch with that love, which is the true nature. And that is the reason it pulls us down. because that beauty, that love, that divinity is completely veiled by this thick, opaque veil. And hence, that feeling that there is no one is very strongly there. And that is why they advise get a dog or get some pet or something so you feel the love. All these, because you're not able to feel it within. And hence you find it outside. Try to look for it outside. So a dog is, and you look for, or you hold on to somebody. In Tamoguna, typically you'll hold on to some one person. The attachment will be very strong. Because it's like, I can't find this love within me. I am holding on to this one person who is, and then little this way, that way, I feel very hurt, whatever. And that person can also feel extremely suffocated. Because there is too much clinging, too much attachment. So to be able to find that love within, like Bala said, like gardening, being with that subtle nature will bring out that activity and move towards activities which connect you to the love within.
Okay. Anybody has anything to
Share?
Can I?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, ma'am. In the Bhagavad Gita, as we see Arjuna in the first chapter, we see Arjuna Vishada Yoga. He gives a lot of reasons as to why he does not want to fight.
Yeah.
Like my family's relatives and guru and all that sinful reactions will come, and Varna Shankara and all those things. So outwardly, when we read it, we feel that yes, these are valid reasons. There is nothing wrong in them. But Swami Vivekananda, he has said that this is Arjuna's all these reasons or excuses. These are actually tamoguna, which is masquerading as sattva-guna.
Yes.
Sometimes that happens, yeah, it is. And when I read it, I was like very surprised, that yes, that is true. It is, it looks sattva guna, but actually it is not. And that is all through all through the Bhagavad Gita. We see that, as Aarti ma'am said, no, from tamas you have to first go to rajoguna. That is why Bhagwan, all through the Bhagavad Gita, he keeps telling Arjuna that you have to do your duty.
Yeah.
You as a Kshatriya have to get up and fight, you know. So that is why. And he, when Arjuna says that I will go into the forest with a begging bowl and all that, no, he says, no, this is, sort of, you cannot jump from there to directly sattva guna,
Yeah.
You have to do your duty, you have to fight, you are a kshatriya, you have to go through this.
And
So
as you do your duty, you keep thawing that strong this thing within. And yes, this is a very interesting point, Jayamalaji, important point. We
Yes.
justify the tamas in such a very beautiful way, as though it is so noble.
Yes, yes, yes.
But if you really go under the layers, you will see that it is your inertia, it is your refusal, your denial to move from where you are. Or, Raghuramji puts the word, it is a very strong thought. If it has become a very strong thought, a conclusion,
This
then
is at the Vijnanamaya level. That's why it's very strong. Vijnana is the covering, no? The thick, it's very thick. And because you brought this up, from outside, the sattva tamas look so similar, right? That's why we get. Okay. So someone might think, oh, I don't get any thoughts. The mind is very calm. Mhm. But actually, generally, I don't know. Maybe we'll know. But then, when the joy is not there,
Yes.
that is tamas. As simple as that. But when the joy is there, when there is that fulfillment, no complaints, no doubts, no fear, then it is sattva.
Yeah.
One thing that probably saved Arjuna is in all his, so Swami puts it, we have read that in Vyasa Aushadam, right? Swami, how beautifully he puts it is his tapasya. He was a man of tapas, Arjuna, throughout. So his tapasya brought that, it saved him. So he at some point surrenders to the Lord. He is telling, I'm unable to see. He is aware of his tamas and he is ready to follow the guidance. That some, whatever is it, rajas or sattva, we don't know, but that he's ready to follow that. So that saved him. In deep tamas, if we do not have the samskara of maybe tapas like Arjuna, then we have to go through. The same Bhagavad Gita says, right? Like the Shishu in the Garbha. We'll go through that. The Divine Mother will do her work of giving us all the hittings and beatings and suffering and wake us up from tamas to rajas and then sattva. So tamas is no joy. Absolute no love, no joy.
That's a
Dull.
beautiful distinction because many times tamas can be mistaken for sattva, and sattva it can be, it is that flow from that absolute inertia, the thought or the belief or whatever it is. I can't do anything. I am not good enough. It's all that, total given up or total conclusion that this is wrong. This is how it should be. This is wrong. Shoulds. When we put a lot of shoulds, no, all those are in a way strongly we are holding on to. It is a form of rigidity. When it is flowing, they're like, let's see how it goes. And still feeling joyful. There is no necessity for anything to be controlled or expectation that this is how things have to go. That is let's see how things go and allowing myself to be with the flow. Then there is that, he would say, it is thinking. It is a continuous, present continuous. Being in the present continuous is being in the flow, and being in the flow is being sattvic. Because then there is a joy either way, this way, that way, the feeling of the joy.
And one more very, very easy indication is my intellect is giving so many justifications. Then I'm in tamas. Sattva doesn't look for justification.
Yes. Defensive justification,
The moment
analysis, complaints.
brings in all these. That's why Arjuna was so many things, right? So, but then it was beautiful because he is justifying to Krishna. So that sannidhi, that presence. So somewhere that light, because Aarti was mentioning, right, that light is sometimes completely obscured in tamas. But for somewhere Arjuna, that inner light, he was in touch with it. Right? That is why with all his thing to that inner light, the inner light, he it starts moving from that total tamas to slowly, receptivity comes in. If there is receptivity, we move. Otherwise,
So here Bala brings up a beautiful point. There are two. So tamas, one is all the prakriti is made of the triguna, sattva, rajas, tamas. Everything in prakriti is made of tamas. So in which all of the creatures have a certain composition of sattva, rajas and tamas. Okay. So for one who is manifested through a very high tamas, the shift may be very different. But here, when it comes to Arjuna, that may so very strong rajas and tamas is some, say, like Duryodhana or somebody like that. Where there is no light, I do not see. Even when Krishna manifests himself and shows death to him to show him the fear, nothing. He calls him Mayavi or something like that. So it is so covered that the divinity is not flowing through, like Hiranyakashipu. Absolute tamas it is. So there is no light showing. He sees Vishnu as his this thing, but as his enemy. But in Arjuna, somewhere the sattva quality was also there. It was momentary tamas. The tamas, so even within us, other than the composition, there is a composition which defines our larger character, larger personality, and in that also different times of the day, our tamas and rajas and sattva can vary. Different season it can vary. Different times of the year or over our growth it can vary. So what Arjuna was experiencing was a dip in his spirit. The tamas had become a little predominant, but largely he had a sattva guna also somewhere, which helped him to surrender, which was because of his tapasya and all that he was able to surrender. But there are others who are largely having a composition itself as tamas being higher. In such cases, the veiling is much stronger and it becomes, and that is even behind such characters, the divine role is there, and the divine is playing to make all of this happening, and they are moving in the flow with a certain divine pattern, grand design as part of the grander design.
Even Dhritarashtra, no?
Yeah.
Deep in Rajas and Tamas.
Rajas and Tamas. Very strong Rajas which led to Tamas. Yes.
Yeah, Tamas. That's why blind.
Yeah.
So it is very. The beauty is, see, the Swabhava, the larger, the code, is only for the physical body, not for the mind. We have all these sadhanas, bhakti sadhana, all this. The mind is very fluid. Yeah. So acceptance of the body swabhava and being constantly at the feet of the Lord in bhakti language, or constantly being whatever. So that changes the fabric of the mind. Someone, even physical, they say for a sadhaka, they say when you do the chanting and all that, when the food, ahara viharasya, we say, right, the food plays, Ramana Maharishi, he used to give only so much of guidance to people, do the Atma Vichara. Of course, he did give for many different, but the general thing is Atma Vichara, and see from where you arise and, be in that. And constantly cleanse this body with the food, the sattva food, because only then the body becomes a vessel to hold the sattva experience. So even the physical gross, because it is a very gross manifestation, right? It is so to change that is not, but then somewhere to make it conducive and to be able to detach from that, or transcend, we can say. This sattvic food and discipline at the body level, bringing the body in a rhythm, that is also pranayama, right? Pranayama is not just practicing Nadi Shuddhi and all that. All this is also pranayama. Having a rhythm daily, daily anushtana, this is what it is. Not to get too caught with anything, whatever, all those things, so that it is rhythmic and harmonious. So that also helps one to transcend the limitation of the body. There is so much acceptance and all that. And the mind Swabhava doesn't come to the mind. It is the um, sadhana and all that changes the fabric of the mind. Mind is not there. That's how we started today's class. So,
Nitya karma, 2 times a day, if possible 3 times a day, take 15 minutes. So the focus is on that. No matter what the thought is, this must happen. I take up whatever is possible for me. So then the mind has something to shift to take up something. People who go to work, maybe naturally you can forget about it sometimes, what has happened at home, but then you will have another problem at work and you will bring that back again to home. It can happen, this kind of thing, right? We carry it with us. But when we have this regular Nitya sadhana, that is a time which it is a reminder, it becomes a regular reminder for us to move out of that and to be with the divine for that time, and it can break away. And that regular sadhana, whatever in the morning, I do this, whether it is physical exercise, go for a walk, or do yoga and do a little bit of meditation, study a scripture, and maybe morning once and afternoon once and night once, if possible, whatever is the time that is possible by each one of us. The Sandhi Kala, especially, then we can do that. It becomes an automatic elevation. It automatically helps us be in line. Each day, sometimes one day, the sadhana can be maybe not that great, elevating, it doesn't matter, but I keep doing it, I keep doing. So then I won't have to think, am I tamasic, am I rajasic, am I sattva? No, just keep doing this nitya anusthana. That's all. Just keep doing this nitya anusthana, which will help me, float at least on the surface of the
and
Bhavasagara.
it creates a gap.
Yes.
It creates a gap. And for the reality to seep in. And in Tamil, there is a verse, it says, "Edatta kudutha madatta pidungu." So Bhagavan's thing is, you give him little space. He will take over the entire.
Yeah. And if you give the mind a little space, the mind will also take over like that. So choose who you want to give the space.
Yes. Yes, very much. Because that's also his Shakti, no?
His Shakti, no? He has lended his Shakti to the mind. So the mind also has the capacity. Little bit you give it will take over totally. But you give it to Bhagavan, and he will take over. And that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Anybody else has anything to share before we close?
Before we close, the one thing that is coming up is recently in one satsanga, someone asks Swami, Nachur Swami, he looks like he's a youngster. So he was telling him, I'm just recently married, Swami, but I'm very much interested in spirituality. I really want to, in his voice only that eagerness was seen. I really want to sincerely get into it. But at this age, recently married with job and all that, so many distractions. Please advise. It's so much of, eagerness he asked. And Swami very beautifully, he said, yes, this is how it will be in this age. All that I tell you is morning, So you have to create a gap in your schedule, that's all. Morning, 15 minutes or 20 minutes, do a Nama Japa. Again, afternoon, 15-20 minutes. And then evening. This Nama Japa, you give this time to Bhagavan. And the way he put it was so beautiful. This time you give to Bhagavan, 15 minutes. Until, the next, he will hold your life throughout. Then again, you give him time. and then he will hold your life throughout. It will. So it was so beautiful the way. So that's what it is. We give the time, and then we see his hand in the rest of the time. In when we do our daily routine, daily activities, whatever our karma, his hand is seen. But the hand is always there. It is seen only when we are able to give this mind to him. Mm.
Namajaba means Om Namah Shivaya and I mean Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram,
Yeah.
anything, no? Any
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Continuous chanting, same thing.
Continuous chanting for 15 minutes. or
15
so.
minutes. 3 times a day.
3 times a day, all Sandhikala is ideal for those 15 minutes if we can give. Minimum two times a day, morning and evening. 3 times a day is.
I mean morning, evening and the night.
Oh yeah, night.
That also you can do, or morning, afternoon, 12 o'clock and night.
Oh, acha. That is correct. Yeah. 12 o'clock is very good.
That is also
Yeah.
Sandhikala, right? So you will.
Yeah. Even in our mission also they told.
Mm.
Meditation also if you do, no, it's good.
Yeah. And if you can do in 12 o'clock at night also, even that is also very good.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. Anachaya Priya.
We will close the session. Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaः Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkhabad Bhavet Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Aarti ji, even I am doing that Ho'oponopono, morning 6, afternoon 12, then again 6, and then
That
night
is
10
also good.
o'clock.
That is your touch with divinity. No problem.
What?
Yeah, something you're doing, some sadhana. It is fine.
Yeah.
Any sadhana, it is fine.
ये भी करता है वो भी करता है बोला. That is for ancestors. Pitrus.
Oh. You can do
Ho'oponopono.
that, but you also need something for the divinity mainly.
Yeah. Healing. That is a healing section.
Acha. What did you call it?
What?
What is the name you said for that?
Ho'oponopono. If you put no Ho'oponopono in search, you will get all information.
Oh. I think that
Ho'oponopono.
Ho'oponopono only does this thank you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
First, we will ask the God to, forgive and some affirmations we have to tell. Then, we have to tell, I'm sorry. Excuse, kya hai? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I forgive you, thank you, I love you.
Forgive me. Thank you. वही तीन भूल गई. Forgot. You can remember.
Yeah, that
See,
is for ancestors, is it?
please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you.
This is for ancestors, is it?
The ancestors, yeah.
Oh.
And they have to, for everybody, even
For
for
everybody,
us,
all
even
Manushya.
our downline, for everybody. Healing section, that is the name. So morning I am getting up 6 o'clock, I'll be ready, and then 12 o'clock, and then evening 6, and then night 10 o'clock. So one lady will recite this affirmation, she will recite, and we can tell by ourselves, repeat by ourselves.
Oh, nice.
She will not ask you, she won't hear what we are telling. We can tell by ourselves, silently.
Nice.
That is maybe 15 minutes is becoming, 15 to 20.
Very
But
nice. You can do this, but also do Nama Japa. I think that this is one thing.
Yes, yeah. Nama Japa bhi karna chahiye.
Yes.
Absolutely. How I am doing this, isko bhi time nikal ke karna chahiye.
Bilkul. Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You are tired?
Thank you.
Your eyes are, I mean,
I don't
you
know.
know,